لكن تحديت الظروف وخضتها وحدي صبورا مستعينا بالصلاة. كم مرة عصف الأنين بداخلي، كم مرة قد ذاق قلبي من أسى محن تمر، وكم كرهت مصابها.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. ما بعد. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Last week I had a pleasant back and forth with my brother Ali Dawah, and it brought attention to the ongoing issues with the Dawah scene, the industry, the Islamic industry, and the charity sector as a whole. Now, as per the thumbnail, the fitna for the ummah is riches, wealth, and this is connected to a hadith from the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So as you can see in my hand, I've got the book Sunan al-Tirmidhi, and this is hadith number 2336. قال سمعت النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إن لكل أمة فتنة وفتنة أمة المال. That he said, verily or indeed there is a fitna, there's a trial or a tribulation for every ummah, and the fitna for my ummah is wealth. The fitna for my ummah is wealth, mal. Okay, so come back to me now. We got Sunan al-Tirmidhi by Imam al-Tirmidhi. I'm just starting off by quoting prophetic ahadith to show you that this issue of setting up registered charities or setting up private limited companies or 100% donation policies, and again I'm going to get into about the whole cycle, the paper trail from start to finish, from the start to the finish, and we'll get to that later. So this issue of wealth, about transparency, about the ummah not being cheated, about the ummah not being deceived, about the ummah being aware of what is happening with their donations, be it charity organizations, be it individuals raising money, be it institutes. I'm going to get to that in a different video. Don't worry about it, I got a surprise for you. It's a major problem. And we as an ummah have the haqq, and we will continue to have the haqq to question what is happening with our money. Regardless whether you believe you're invincible or believe that, you should trust us, we've been doing it for a long time. No, every single penny needs to be accounted for from start to finish. I'm going to get to a point which I need to sort of hone in on, because with the back and forth with our brother Ali Dawah, there needs to be clarity. And I will show you what I mean later on in a different video, or even this video, depending on how much time I have. So, as you can see in my hand, I got Sahih al-Bukhari. Got a hadith here, number 3158. حدثنا أبو يمان قال أخبرنا شعيب عن الزهري قال حدثني عروة بن زبير عن المسور بن مخرمة أنه أخبره عن عمرو بن عوف الأنصاري. So, this is channel narrators. So, he mentions that this Amr bin Auf al-Ansari, who was Halif li Bani Amir bin Lu'ay, that this individual was an ally of Bani Amir bin Lu'ay. And he, meaning this individual, وَكَانَ شَهِدَ بَدْرًا. He is the one that witnessed the Battle of Badr. أخبره أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم بحث أبو عبيدة بن جراء إلى البحرين يأتي بجزيتها، وكان رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم هو صالح أهل البحرين وأمر عليهم علاء بن حضرمي. So the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم sent Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah to Bahrain to collect the jizya, right? And when he collected the jizya, the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم established a sulh with them. And he appointed Al-Ala bin Hadrami as the wali, or the governor there. فقدم أبو عبيدة بمال من البحرين فسمعت الأنصار بقدوم أبو عبيدة. So he came with some mal, meaning the jizya, and the Ansar heard of Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah's arrival, which it mentions فوفاتت صلاة الصبح مع النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. So it was at the same time when the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم was leading the morning prayer. لما صلى بهم الفجر انصرف فتعرضوا له فتبسم رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حين رآهم وقال. So when he finished the prayer, عليه الصلاة والسلام, the Ansar approached him and he looked at them, and the Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم smiled when he was looking at them, or when he saw them, and he said, أظننكم قد سمعتم أنا أبو عبيدة قد جاء بشيء. That he mentioned that I think or I feel that you have heard that Abu Ubaidah came back with something. Okay? And they said, Ajal, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Yes, O Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam responded with something very powerful. He said, Wallahi lal faqra aksha alaykum, walakin aksha alaykum an tubsata alaykum ad-dunya kama busitat ala man kana qablakum fatanafasuha kama tanafasuha. He mentioned, I swear by Allah, I do not fear poverty for you, but rather I fear for you that you would lead a life of luxury, or you will be influenced by the dunya, as the previous nations were. And you would compete, you would challenge each other or compete with each other for it. And as they competed for it, meaning the people before you, and it would destroy you as it destroyed them. Subhanallah al-Azim. So as you can see, we got Sahih Bukhari. And one final narration, just so that, I brought the prophetic Athar. We've got Sunnah Tirmidhi again. And this is hadith number 2376. And as you can see, we've got hadith number 2356. And Ka'b bin Malik al-Ansari. قال Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ma dhi'bani ja'i'ani. Mentions that two hungry wolves going around amongst sheep, like a flock of sheep, ghanamin, are less dangerous, right, to them than a man having like hirs, like having a passion for mal, for wealth, and sharaf, like status, or to his religion. Subhanallah al-Azim. Look how powerful that is. So you go, we got Sunnah Tirmidhi, 2376. Now, why am I bringing these athar to your attention, right? Because competing for wealth and sharaf and izzah and, being known by the people to a certain extent, we're going to get to the athar from the Salaf, is very, very dangerous. And living in a capitalistic society like we are more in danger of falling for these issues or falling into the traps of mal and wealth and sharaf and wealth. Now, one must accept, whether you're a da'i, whether you're an alim, whether you're, an influencer from the Muslims, whatever bracket you fall under, whatever category you fall under, that the temptation for wealth and desire and, status or, being known is at an all-time high due to social media. Very, very dangerous. And I include myself in it as well. May Allah save us from it. But unfortunately, there was an article written about 5-6 years ago, right? And I find that whoever did not mention their names have brought about more of an issue to us, because they should have been named and shamed to the point that we should have boycotted these individuals, and that would have set a precedent and set a series of precaution for us to avoid such individuals, because then we've got past experience of X, Y, and Z. So as you can see on screen, right, we've got an article written, The Dangerous Relationship Between Dawah and Money. The dangerous relationship between what? Da'wah and money. And I don't want to go into it. It's a huge article. And I'm going to get to the point where, subhanallah al-azim, why weren't they named? Why weren't they named? I'm flabbergasted as to why these individuals' names were kept secret. Because they should have been named and shamed and exposed, and we should have boycotted these individuals from appearing in our halaqat, appearing in our fundraising events, because you'll see the examples, absolutely shocking. And he mentioned, a speaker was invited to attend a conference. During his stay in the city, he visited a mosque for Friday prayer. For whatever reason, the khatib of the mosque was not present, and the speaker was approached and asked to deliver the khutbah in the mosque in a city in which he was already present. He said he would do so if he was paid an extra £1,000. Right, let's carry on. A speaker delivered a lecture at an event. After this, he sat amongst the numbers of the audience. There so happened to be a 10 to 15-minute segment in which a brother was supposed to offer reminders to the audience, but he was unable to do so. The organisers asked the speaker to cover these 15 minutes. Listen to this. He requested an extra £200 to step out of his chair and share a reminder with the audience. Tuf alaikum. Okay? And you kept their names hidden? One speaker was invited to speak at an event, as it was known he would be travelling nearby on his way back to his own country. The organisers requested he make a stopover at the event and offered to pay the difference in the journey. The speaker agreed to attend on condition that his entire travel expense would be paid for, which isn't unreasonable, including the full price of his ticket. He requested to stay at a 5-star hotel as it would be a 12-hour stopover. And he later called to inform the organisers that he would be bringing his wife and required her ticket to be paid for as well. The man was invited to lead Taraweeh prayers in a mosque in Ramadan because his recitation was widely appreciated. So who was he? Why didn't you name him? Subhanallah al-Azim. The mosque requested he extended his time leading the prayers each night from 1 hour to an hour and 15 minutes. For extending his salah for 15 minutes, the Imam demanded more money. Let's carry on. Some speakers even assigned their personal assistants to speak on their behalf, like their royalty or something. Tuf alaykum. They claim they are professional and hence ask for professional contracts between the organization of the speaker and the organization inviting the speaker. I was shown a professional contract. So why didn't you open this up? Why didn't you bring this to the public? Who was he? Who was this scumbag? Who was this punk who was demanding this? In which a speaker outlined his payment demands and stipulated that if the money was not paid on time, a charge of 20% would be added to the fee. Perhaps they thought that charge of riba is part of professionalism. And there's more. Uqsam billah, I read another one. I was invited to a particular country to may Allah disgrace and humiliate these punks. I was invited to a particular country to take part in a conference for a new organization. They invited a number of speakers from different countries and they offered all of us business class flights. As this is a faraway country, the business class will cost them unbelievable amounts of money. I thought of the poor children who would die every day due to hunger across that country, and of myself taking a business class flight to that country or any other country for da'wah. I remember how Sheikh Abdul Rahman al-Sumayt, rahimahullah, the most active preacher in that same region, used to travel for over 30 years in many such countries to deliver real da'wah. I also remember the Sheikh Saleh al-Husayyin, a senior scholar of Saudi Arabia, who was also the chief of the administration of the affairs of the two holy mosques. His position and family made it feasible for him to travel in first or business class, and yet he refused to do so as he was giving da'wah. In fact, there were reports that he used to sleep in the masjid instead of in hotels during his travels. Okay, now coming back to me now. Okay, there's more. Uqsum billahi al-ali al-azim. There's more. I'll just give you one example. Another brother told me a speaker who asked for 50% of the money that was raised during the fundraising event. Another told me about a speaker who was getting 1,500 every day in Ramadan for fundraising event, or fundraising for different organizations. A fourth brother told me about an organization that arranged a tour for an imam leading Taraweeh in Ramadan who was charging mosque for halls £5,000 a night. Tuf alayk ya kalb. A speaker requested through his secretary a first-class ticket for making a journey within Europe, which would not take more than 2 hours despite the fact that it's for 4 times the price of the standard class. Allah yal'anak. Trying to monetize the religion and live off the da'wah. Ask a question to the sheikh in question who brought this to our attention. May Allah reward him. Why do you not name these punks? Why do you not name these kilab who are monetizing the deen of Islam, subhanAllah, with ridiculous demands? Kilab, that's the best way to describe them. They're kilab. Tuf alaykum. Spitting every single one of your faces. And in 2017, this was written. Why didn't you tell us their names? Why are we now picking up the pieces in 2023 where it's getting worse and worse and worse? Why? Why didn't you tell us this? Now we in 2024, my brain's going all fuzzy. In 2024, we're now trying to figure out who these scumbag pricks are. Asking for 50k, 5,000 night, 20% extra. I want first class ticket, bring my wife. Who are these kilab? Who are they? Tell us who they are. Now we demand to know who these punks are. Enough's enough. Why are they monetizing the deen of Islam? Oh yeah, they need to eat. Of course they do. We don't deny that. They have to eat. But pay them reasonable. Pay them a reasonable amount. Who the hell do you think you are? Okay, carrying on. I released a video not long ago, and obviously you know I'm actively discussing charities and the ummah's wealth. Uqsum billahi al-azim, this is al-amana. It's not your wealth, and you ain't got no, entitled right to it just because you're a popular speaker with followers. And we're going to get to some aqwal of the Salaf to see if you're actually following, true zuhad, true tasawwuf. You understand? But no, it's all about the Benjamins living in this capitalistic society. You punks think you're going to monetize the deen and we're not going to speak about it. I don't care how popular you are. I don't care if I got a personal relationship. I will call you out. I don't give a damn. And I got a small channel, I know. But you know there's traction. You know there's traction when it comes to these videos which I put on my channel. Why? Because the people are feeling it already. And I'm passionate. Of course I'm passionate when it comes to the Wa'ad al-Ummah abusing the Wa'ad, where volunteers, subhanAllah, may Allah reward them immensely. They do this out of their kindness of their heart, and they run around and they treat him like dirt. Mind my friend, they treat him like absolute, manure. But yeah, these guys are asking for X, Y, and Z. But as I was saying, so the paper trail that I was mentioning about the charities and organization, it has to be from the start, from when you gain these donations and you show us your bank statements to show that you've raised that money. And then what's the next step? You show us that you've spent it. right? You show us that you spent it. Anyone could publish an invoice. I can publish an invoice, you know, from brothers I know in Morocco, in Saudi Arabia, in Saudi. I said, send me an invoice that, you know, I've paid this much, but don't show the actual payment that went out. I put it on screen for you. One brother was commenting on one of my Facebook posts, and he said, and I responded to him, I said, I agree, and the charities are not willing to provide transparency, but I'm speaking generally now. So this brother, may Allah reward him, said, invoices can be doctored to suit needs. And I said, Wallah al-Azim, that is so true. I'm not accusing anyone of doing so, but invoices don't fly. You show us the payment, you show us the bank transfer, you show us the money transfer receipts, you show us everything. And they can be doctored, I'm not saying they can't. But like I said, as where the arrow's over, Allah is watching, akhi. Allah is watching, akhi al-Aziz. Subhanallah al-Azim. Now come back to me now. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to present some athar from the Salaf to show you that shuhra is dangerous. Being known and being famous is dangerous. And if not dealt with according to Islamic principles and values, talking about tawadi', talking about khuluq, you know, good manners, akhlaq, adab. Title scholars think they deserve tens of thousands of pounds of the ummah's money. Tuf alaykum kilab. That these scumbags think they're entitled to it. As you can see on screen, we've got the book At-Tawadu' wal-Khumul. And this is written by Al-Hafidh Abi Bakr Abdullah bin Muhammad bin Ubaid bin Abi Dunya. Ibn Abi Dunya. And I'm just going to show you, present some athar, subhanallah adim, very powerful. قال كنت أنا ومحمد بن يوسف الأصبهاني. He goes, I was with me and Muhammad bin Yusuf al-Asbahani. فجاء كتاب محمد بن علا بن مصيب من البصرة. And a letter came from Muhammad bin Ala bin Musayyib from Basra. إلى محمد بن يوسف. And it came to Muhammad bin Yusuf. قرآه فقال لي محمد بن يوسف. So he read it. And Muhammad bin Yusuf said to me, ألا ترى إلى ما كتب به محمد بن علا. He goes, do you not see what Muhammad bin Ala wrote? وإذا فيه. And he said, يا أخي, oh my brother, من أحب الله, whoever loves Allah, أحب أن لا يعرفه الناس, that he should love that the people don't know him. Meaning they feared for themselves. Subhanallah al-Azim. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud one day left his house. خرج ابن مسعود ذات يوم من منزله. This is narrated by Al-Hasan. And he said, فاتبعه الناس فالتفتت إليهم فقال. That one day Abdullah ibn Mas'ud left his house and people started following him. So he turned to them and said, على ما تتبعوني. He said, like, are you following me? والله لو تعلمون ما أغلق علي بابي. He said, Wallahi, if you know what I've locked or when I've shut my door behind me, right? تبعني منكم رجلان. No two people will follow me if they knew what. You know, once I shut my door or lock my door behind me, two people won't follow. Look at the tawada, look at the humility. And these punk-ass kilab are asking for 50 grand, 2,000, 20% extra. What kind of rubbish is this? Anyway, let's carry on. رأى ابن عمر على ابنه ثوبا قبيحا دونا. So one day Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu saw his son wearing some clothes that weren't very pleasant, right? And Abdullah bin Umar radiallahu said, لا تلبس هذا. Don't wear this or don't don this. فإن هذا ثوب الشهرة. This is the clothing of those who seek fame or who are famous. Just don't wear these clothes. All right? Furthermore, he mentions that Bishr bin Harith, rahimahullah wa ta'ala, said, لا أعلم رجلا أحب أن يعرف إلا ذهب دينه وافتضح. He says that I do not know of a man who loves that he should be known except that his religion goes and he gets exposed. Subhanallah al-Azim. And another riwayah underneath it, قال Bishr bin Harith. Okay, Bishr bin Harith said, and he mentioned underneath, قال Bishr bin Harith, لا يجد حلوة الآخرة رجل يحب أن يعرفه الناس. He says that no man, or you will find no man who would taste the sweetness of the akhirah for the one that wants to be known. He won't taste the sweetness of the akhirah. Subhanallah al-Azim. Furthermore, as you can see on screen, we got Hilyatul Awliya by Abu Na'im al-Asbahani. Subhanallah al-Azim. And he mentions, إياك وشحرة فما أتيت أحدا إلا وقد نهاني عن الشحرة. Sufyan al-Thawri mentioned, he says, beware of being known. For I did not find any person that warned against being known. Subhanallah al-Azim. And we've got إحياء علوم الدين by Imam al-Ghazali. Imam al-Ghazali mentions اعلم أصلحك الله أن الأصل الجاهي هو انتشر الصيت والاشتحار وهو مذموم بل المحمود الخمول. He mentions that, no, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala rectify you, that the origin or the asl of fame is spread, but it is reprehensible. And it is praiseworthy to be inactive, like idle. Illa, except that the one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose, لِنَشْرِ دِينِهِ مِنْ غَيْرِ تَكَلُّفِ طَلَبِ الشُّحْرَةِ مِنْهُ. Except that the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose to spread his religion without that person seeking fame. He's the one that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose. Not that he was seeking fame, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose him and made him famous, subhanallah al-azim. The ulama of the past actually had a profession. They were working and they were seeking knowledge. Now you could say the dynamics have changed because we live in a capitalistic society now, it's a lot different back then. But what I'm showing you is, look how they feared for themselves where they work. Go work. And even if you were to work as part of a religious organization, take a salary that is reasonable, like everyone else. Who says you deserve the house and the cars? And no, if it's for religion, is for the purpose of deen, have some humility. Have some bloody humility. As you can see on screen, we've got the book Sira A'lam Nubala by Imam al-Dhahabi. Now there's a scholar who is describing Ibn Nayruz. He mentions him as Shaykh al-Musnid al-Saduq. Then he presents his full name. Abu Bakr Muhammad ibn Ibrahim bin Nayruz al-Baghdadi al-Anmati. Al-Anmati. Now why is Al-Anmati? Al-Anmati, under the footnote, where you can see where it says number 3, is connected to the people who sell patterns, clothing. So these are the ulama, or this particular scholar was the one that used to, like textile and stuff, used to sell stuff. And there's many more. So as you can see on screen, we've got Sira A'lam Nubala again, and this is Al-Ajuri, Al-Imam Al-Muhaddith Al-Qudwa, famous scholar who wrote the book Al-Shar'iyya, and Sira A'lam Nubala, and we've got the Qabla, right? They used to deal in cobbles. So as you can see, we got Al-Imam Al-Hafiz Al-Allama Abu Bakr Ahmad bin Muhammad bin Hani. Next page. Al-Iskafi. And these were like people who used to have that sort of trade. And I could go on and on and on and on and on. Like there's more. Like if you look at Al-Haddad, Al-Najjar, Al-Khayyat, like blacksmith, carpenter, Khayyat, tailor, Yahya Qattan, these cotton turners. You got loads of different Al-Warraq, like so many different professions, right? And this is the point that I'm trying to raise, is that ulama of the past worked. Imam Abu Hanifa was a merchant, and others weren't so fortunate. The capitalistic society that we live in today, we are falling for these traps. These charities, okay, it's in the name of zakat and sadaqah, wal amilina alayha, and then they take a cut, the gift aid, donations, and then no transparency. Okay, yeah, 100% donations, but we don't see no paper trail, we don't see anything such as that. No, it's not going to be accepted. And subhanallah azim, we are seeing many people question these charities, these organizations. We need to see a paper trail from the start of the campaign, when you request the money or you request the donations, ila nihaya, until the end, when you're actually showing us bank statements and transactions, not invoices. Invoices don't cut it. All the way to the end. Not a stone will be left unturned, bi-idhnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And those kilab that were requesting this and banking, that was 5, 6, 7 years ago, 2017 this was written. And the Sheikh did not mention their name. Biggest catastrophe. He should have mentioned their name, so he should expose them and would have shunned them, and they would have no opportunity to bank off the believers and the ummah's hard-earned wealth. So bi-idhnillah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there'll be other videos. You think you're going to stop me? No, you're not. I don't fear the blame of the blamers. Like I said before, what are you going to do to me? Huh? What are you going to do to me? Bi-idhnillah, call these scumbags out. We don't need them in our community. So take care of yourselves, inshallah ta'ala. Until the next video, wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad.
ليس الغريب غريب الشام واليمن إن الغريب غريب اللحد والكفن إن الغريب له حق لغربته على المقيمين في الأوطان والسكن. سفري بعيد وزاد لن يبلغني، وقوتي ضعفت والموت يطلبني. ما أحلم الله عني حيث أمهلني، وقد تماديت في ذنبي ويسترني. تمر ساعة